What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all are having a good weekend, having a good evening. Um, I just realized something really stupid. Um, I might need you guys to bear with me for a second. I'm dumb. Um, uh, Sorry. I'm really sorry, everybody. I need you guys to bear with me for a second. I have something I have to do. I'll explain. Um, First, my son was sick, and then my wife is sick. And or sorry, the son was sick, then the baby got sick, and now my wife is sick. And unfortunately, she's taking care of, um, the baby, whatever. And I would hate to have to do that if I am a baby when I'm sick. And whatchamacallit? Why can't I think? What's going on? I want to change this. Or maybe I should just leave it. But anyway, the whole point was I was talking to my wife and hopefully this makes sense. Like when I work at the hospital, like 3 12-hour shifts in a row, I'm exhausted. I don't really want to do anything. And I just worked Thursday night, Friday night, and then Saturday night. So today is like technically my first day off. Normally I come home and I sleep, whatever, like a good 6 or 7 hours. But I only slept for like 4 hours today because I wanted to be ready for the market open, to see if there's a setup that I like, which right now there is. This is now a buy side HVN. And excuse me. Basically, like, I want to have my order in place. I would like to catch this trade if they give me the setup. And so right now I have an order set for long 65.88. They'll probably tap this sell side HVN, but I'm going to close my trade at the psych level of 6,600. Stop loss at 65.82. So I'm risking $6 to make 12, basically, or risking 6 points to make 12 points. But anyway, what I was getting at is, since my wife's not feeling well, I was telling her, like, hey, let's just, order food tonight, because she'll otherwise, it would be her responsibility to cook, and I don't want her to have to worry about cooking tonight. And anyway, I told her I was going to go upstairs and place a Grubhub order for us, and then I completely forgot. So I'm doing that really quick right now while I'm talking with you guys. That way my wife doesn't murder me in my sleep. So anyway, I apologize about all that. We're definitely getting some ramen. Some good, hot meat broth to help her hopefully get better soon. All right. I just placed my order. I apologize, everybody, that you had to sit through that for 5 minutes or whatever it is. I do have some really good setups for you guys. Let me just tell my wife really quick, because she can be annoying. That sounds really bad. That's not what I mean to say. My wife, so like we live in a gated community, and the gate is connected to her phone number. And she's really bad about watching her phone. So people will be at the gate and they'll call me and they're like, hey, like, I put in the number and nothing's happening. And it's because my wife's not paying attention to her phone. So let me just really quickly tell her to make sure she pays attention to the phone, because I ordered the food and, you know, they're going to be bringing it. Bear with me really quick. Sorry, I'll be right back. Babe? 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 Pay attention to your phone, okay? Because I ordered the food. No, like 40 minutes, but just pay attention to your phone. Okay? All right. Very sorry, everybody. I just realized I deleted my levels from Friday, but we had a buy-side high volume node here. This was our entry, and we closed it up here somewhere. Whatever, it doesn't even matter. I don't think we any longer need to like prove that we're able to find levels. You know what I'm saying? For Spy, I was a little bit disappointed with myself because, hang on, let me turn this off. It's really hard to see. I realized like that I didn't mention that up here would have been a good place to get in short, or even on the retest of the spike. But I guess if you shorted this area, it wasn't terrible. It also wasn't great. Yeah. Let's go ahead and delete all of this. Get ready for Monday. Also, we have... what was I going to say that we have? Oh, I do have an option set up for you guys. A very good one. A nice one. Should be awesome. Okay. So I'll get rid of these. Oh, and then I haven't seen this yet. What is it? I need to go watch this today. Where is it? Really? Anyway, this fight here, Tatiana Suarez, Amanda Limons. I need to watch this fight. I don't know if you guys know, but Tatiana is like, I don't know what word to say. She's like a family friend. She trains at the same gym as my son. I think so. Like, where's... I don't know what the best way to show this. Probably pull it up on my phone. Oh, also really quickly, I'm sorry. I know I'm being kind of annoying and we're not talking about trading, but I do have an option set up for you guys. It's a really good one. Should be a slapper. Anyway, let me just pull this up on my phone really quick. Oh, actually, I'll share a few things with you guys really quickly. Um, so, oh, this is going to be kind of hard to show you guys. Hopefully, this works. Um, the guy, ooh, ooh, on this side. Yeah. This is really hard to do. This guy right there is my son's head coach. That's Romy Aram. He's an ex-UFC fighter. And then Tatiana, obviously. I don't know who the guy is on the far. What is it? Left or right, I guess. Your guys is right. The other guy next to Tatiana is her boyfriend, her husband, Patchy. Um, but anyway, yeah, they all train with my son, or my son trains with them. I don't know, however you want to look at it. Um, I should do this at the end, but whatever, it is what it is. What? How do I switch accounts on here? Really easy to do on my phone. Well, anyway, I was going to show you guys, but it's being annoying. My, like Tatiana follows my son on Instagram. But I wanted to show you guys this really quick. Just because it would be cool if you guys could help blow this up. Where is it? So, my son's new band, or I hate to say that because that's not what it is. The band that my son is in, or the new band my son is in, this is my son here. If you want to follow them on Instagram, I period dot or I period D period C period band official. We'd love to get some more followers. They just did a show yesterday, and they got some followers just from that, where people were pretty impressed with how well they did. But anyway, it'd be cool if you guys follow them. I guess I can just post the link, right? Yeah. Let me do that. Close this really quick. What am I doing? I have like all these windows open. There. You want to understand, I know. What? Oh, you're thinking like, oh, here? Then take it to here. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think we're going to go. I mean, even like here wouldn't be terrible. 65, 98, 75. But if I start changing stuff, like if I did this or even this, then I have to move my stop loss, and then I don't want to take the trade at all, because what will negate my trade is if we go below the spike. And at that point, I become very bearish. As long as we're above the spike, I'm bullish. And so if I have to put my stop loss anywhere above this, then I'm not interested in the trade. So I don't know what else to say, but I'm pretty confident they're going to come back up here. if we want to talk about exactly what I think is going to be happening, I think we're going to do this here, and then potentially this. Okay. But I think the most important thing for me is my stop loss needs to be somewhere where I feel like it's hidden, from if they try to do like a liquidity grab or whatever else. And again, I have to think about when I'm taking a trade, what would invalidate like a bullish scenario? What would invalidate a bearish scenario? If I'm taking a bullish trade, where does it get invalidated? Or if I'm taking a bearish trade, where does it get invalidated? And a lot of times that's as simple as saying like a change in structure. So if we took out the spike, it still is in play, but basically what invalidates my trade here is if, at least on 30 minutes, is if we go and break below the 12:30 candle on Friday. Going below this would invalidate my trade, right? We would make a new lower low, and that would be a change in structure, and that would invalidate my trade. So again, as long as we're above this spike, I'm bullish, and I want to play it up to the top. I'm pretty confident we tap here, but I'm not going to be sad if I close, at the psych level of 6,600 and they go 2 more points without me. Like, I'm good. However, I will be pretty upset with myself if I know, hey, there's this major psych level at 6,600, but I'm going to try to be greedy and squeeze out an extra 2 points, and they come up here and hit this and then sell off and stop me out, right? So, you just have to... I've said this before. I'll probably say it again, and I'll probably say it again a lot of times. When we're trading, we have to try to look at the chart and figure out what story they're telling us, right? We have to figure out what the story is, and figure out where does that story change. And for me, the change would be a break in structure. Making a new lower low would be a change in structure. Breaking below the spike would be, like a very bearish scenario, and I no longer want to be long, right? So all of those factors determine where my take profit is. And then, when it comes down to it, if I say like, this is the trade I'm interested in, right? And I want my stop loss to be below the spike, but I think I have to take profit, whatever, here, then I'm just not taking the trade, right? My risk to reward's not there, and I can't justify taking this trade. And if I don't feel confident that, hey, we're going to break above previous day value area high and, whatever else, then I just don't take the trade. But I'm pretty confident they come up and tap this. So I'm good. They do it over and over and over again. I show you guys this all the time, If we look up at the last, I don't even know, like 2 months of setups I've given you guys in the overnight session where we've played just off of, whatever it is, sell side high volume node to buy side high volume node, or buy side high volume node to sell side high volume node, that have worked over and over and over again, that completely ignore volume profile, or to a degree ignore. Like here we're getting in, basically at the previous day value area low. Like I've given away so many setups, so much money, where we're just playing off of the high volume nodes, whatever, low to high, high to low, over and over and over again, right? All right. With that said, let's actually get into some stuff here. Sorry, it's been like 20 minutes of babbling, but I missed you guys. It's been, I don't know, 2 days, and yeah. let's start off with, or I don't even, what day was this on? I feel like this was a call out on Thursday or for Thursday, right? Yeah. Okay. Um, let's look at our setup for tomorrow. One of people's favorites, where it's an actual like shit company. At least as far as their revenue is concerned, they don't do very well. Um, so below 170 and 60 cents, I'm looking for puts. Um, I will be taking a first trim at 169.50. It almost looks like I'm kind of targeting every dollar, but I'm really not. I'm looking at the levels, and that just is kind of how it worked out. After that, second trim, 168 and 49 cents. After that, third trim, 167.44. Fourth trim, 166.30, and finally close at 165.10. This is going to be a day trade. And yeah, should be money. I believe they're targeting 150. So if you're feeling froggy, go ahead and grab, a swing, and you can target 150. I'm pretty sure they're coming down here, but I'll be in and out, day trade, take my money and run. Don't let news mess with my trade. So that's me. So that's for tomorrow. Let me just save this document really quick. Close this. This should be pretty clear. Just in case, one of the things I don't mention very often is for this to work, one of two things can happen. We can open above and slice through. And as soon as we cross below 170.60 is where I hop in puts. If we happen to open whatever, anywhere down in here, it doesn't matter where. If they do one of these, as soon as they cross back inside, we would be getting into puts, right? So either one of those scenarios is fine. But what you don't do is if we open down here, whatever, just immediately hop into puts, okay? Because at that point, I don't know what they're going to do. I want to see them actually cross through my entry to get in, okay? So that's that. Let's get into SPY. Oh, I just realized I get to delete the weekly levels. Praise Jesus. Okay. I don't think I need this anymore. Yeah. I will say one thing I don't like about Grubhub is like, um, what is it? Like they give you an estimated time frame that they're going to deliver your food, and then a lot of people would think this is a good thing. I can't tell you how often, or I don't order like delivery very often. Mainly we do it like when somebody's sick in the house. Because when I'm sick, I don't want to go drive. I don't want to cook, but I don't want to go pick up food either. So I use like delivery. But like I order food because it's saying, oh, it's going to be delivered around 5:30 in the evening. And then they're randomly like, oh, your food's arriving early. It's going to be there at 4:30. Like, dude, I don't want to eat dinner at 4:30. Like, maybe you think you're doing me a favor by delivering it an hour early, but you're not. Like, I'm not trying to eat dinner. Um, whatchamacallit? I'm not trying to eat dinner at why can't I English right now? I'm not trying to eat dinner at 4:30 in the evening, and I don't want to eat it later when it's cold. So, yeah, AMD was not valid. I had already said in the chat that it was invalidated. I don't even remember what day. Because if I was looking at this, and this isn't like, oh, in hindsight, you should have done this, but basically, I guess I can't really do that. But I was going to show you something, but I can't do it. But so the reason I'm saying I can't do it is, or I guess I can. Let's do this. Let me just erase this day, right? And I'll tell you exactly what I would have done. Obviously, I didn't really quickly memorize where AMD was, but on what was it? Why is this weird? I don't. Whatever. I feel like we were looking for calls here. I don't even remember anymore. Shoot. Wait. What am I doing? Sorry. Bear with me, everybody. Oh, we were looking for them here, right? On Thursday, and it didn't hit. And when we were down here, I said this is invalid. So let me erase. What is it? Thursday. There we go. So, wait, no, that's not what I want to do. Well, no, that won't let me do what I want to do either. Okay, let me turn this off really quick. I need to erase Friday is what I need to do, not Thursday. There we go. Okay, so now, I don't remember exactly where I said it was invalid, but I believe it was somewhere down here. This is a very typical bear flag, right? Or bear pennant, same thing. So if we kind of look at this, there is our bear pennant, right? This is our flagpole here. So in this scenario, we're worried about a break to the downside. And if they cross above the 50% retracement, then they would invalidate this bear flag, right? I guess I probably would have been getting in a little bit early. Actually, maybe not. So basically, actually, sorry, I should unerase the fibs here. Because what I would be looking for is to get in calls basically when we break over the 50% retracement, but also because at that point we've invalidated this bear flag, right? It's the same thing we were just talking about with ES, like where does downside become invalidated on this trade? And it's when, I mean, first part would be making a new higher high, which would happen right here. But technically, even there, downside is still a possibility until we break above the 50% retracement. Here, I don't want to get in right at a support resistance flip. So like if this is support and we're below it, I don't want them to come up here and reject off and go lower, right? So basically, I would add a little bit to this, something like get in here, right? And then from there, my first trim would probably be right around here. And then my second trim, no questions, would be right here. And then I would probably even play it all the way up to right here. And now, I mean, you guys can believe or not believe me. I really didn't memorize like what happened. Um, I don't know if they came up this high or not, but I'm just going off of levels. This is what I would target. And so here we turn off the replay, and they wouldn't have come up here. But I would have got in. I would have hit my first trim. I would have hit my second trim. And from there, they created like oh, what's that called? I don't know why I can't think of this candlestick pattern. Tweezer top, right? And then they sold off and started bouncing right off of my entry level, right? So he wouldn't have hit this, but I would have got 2 trims and I'd still be stoked, right? Okay. Oh, that's right. We need to move contracts probably this Tuesday. Good call, Errors. I'm still on the current, but we do need to start charting. Oh, I got filled. Nice. Sorry, let me just tell everybody. Okay. But yeah, we're going to be probably Tuesday is when you want to switch to September or whatever it, December contracts. Okay. All right. There's our daily levels. Switch to 65-minute, do our weekly levels. Oh, and then we have SIGs to draw on the daily, right?
Tips? The food coming, you give them tips already?
Hmm?
You give them tips already? Or you still have to get anything, right?
Yeah, I already gave him a tip. All right, there's our weekly levels. What else do we have here? We have a spike, right? I should point out, I think everybody's so used to spikes being bullish because we've just been running. This is the inverse when we're at the bottom, right? So being below or opening below would be very bearish. Opening between the spike and the spike base would be slightly bearish. And then opening above the spike would be bullish, right? Up here at the very top, we have single prints. These levels are literally exactly the same. So I have to combine them. All right. Oh, I talked about this last week, I think. I don't remember what day. But there's a couple of things I'm going to be doing. For people what's it called? Why can't I English? Oh, okay. Gosh, I completely lost my train of thought. Sorry. Jack, you're hilarious, bro. Fuck me, I keep losing my train of thought. This is weird. Well, there's two things I want to talk about, and that's part of the problem because, yeah. Oh, well, I might have completely forgot the first one. Let's start with the second one. So people are confused about contracts, it sounds like, for ES. And what we need to do is... Where is it? I will give you guys... Fuck you. I'll give you guys this link in just a second. But... and this link doesn't really change. So, if you click on that link, you'll see here it says ESH 25. So basically every year, like, you would change this to 26, 27, so on and so forth, and it stays the same. What we're looking at is, if we come down here, you'll see S&P 500 E-mini for September. Here you see the December contracts. Here's March, June, so on and so forth, right? Right now, our volume is 1,000 more than the December contracts. Generally, when this switches, where volume exceeds the volume of the current contract, is the second Tuesday of the month. Historically, that's when this switches. And so that's when I start considering switching. You just want to check this every day as you're approaching, like, the second week of the month, which is what we're going into right now, right? And, or I guess the third week of the month. Sorry, maybe I'm wrong. And so for right now, again, volume's very low because this is pre-market. But when you look at this tomorrow, you'll see that the volume is still going to be significantly higher on September than it is on December. You wait for these to switch or be equal, right? If this is 4,000 and this is 4,000, then you can trade December. But you're going to want the one that has the most liquidity. The price jump does not mean anything. That's just what it is. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Gosh, I wish I could remember what the other thing is that I wanted to talk about, but I guess if it becomes important, it'll come back to me. Okay. Are we... Can you guys, like, not fade me? That would be great. Them losing this will not make me happy, but it is what it is. It's not going to change my conviction. Hopefully we would just start bouncing here. Let's see. Oh, let's start well, actually, let's look at food. Let's look at food. Let's look at our fear and greed index really quick. We're probably in neutral again. Yeah. Coming up on greed. Let's look at our calendar for tomorrow. There is absolutely nothing going on. So we have CPI every week now. This is Canada, but it's still going to affect us. Oh, FOMC this week. Perfect. I feel like I don't even know how many months now. Every single week, Monday and Tuesday is just choppy, boring ass bullshit, waiting for news on Wednesday. And I'm getting pretty tired of it. Like, can we just have normal days normal weeks where we don't have some major news event happening on Wednesday that's going to cause the markets to just be boring and choppy up until then? This is legit frustration you guys are witnessing right now. I don't ask for much, but like just minimal choppy days would be great. I don't mind being wrong on a trade, but to just sit there and watch the market just do nothing and move sideways is probably one of the most frustrating things in the world. Oh, yay, I'm green. One tick. Woohoo! I'm going to close my trade. See green, take green, right? Or see profit, take profit. Oh, that's right. We also have option expiry this week. Yeah. Okay. What we are expecting tomorrow. I've kind of already covered this on the futures aspect. And I'll be a little bit surprised if I'm wrong, but again, with trading, I'm going to be wrong. That's part of the game. It's not a big deal. But right now, I believe we are going to go like we are right now here. This is where I got filled long. Obviously, I wouldn't be getting in long if I wasn't expecting a bounce, right? Coming up to here, I'm expecting them to sell off. There is like a slight chance we hit single prints. But this is the less likely scenario for me. If we do, this is immediate puts, right? I mean, you even want to be in short here or in puts here as well. From there, I would expect them to do... actually, this needs to be... Let me go backwards. They'll probably come inside here, retest. This is another good spot to get in short, right? We'll probably see a bounce here initially before they slice through, retest the bottom, whatever, break below the spike, blah, 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 and then expect a bounce here. Okay? This is if it's not super choppy tomorrow. Realistically, knowing that we have FOMC on Wednesday, um, there's a good chance that retail just gets screwed. And what they do is they go from here, retest, long, whatever, reject, and then all day long they just do this, and people trying to trade options get clapped, right? Because nothing's happening. Okay, that's very realistic. But if they do give us moves, I really expect a bounce up to here. Them to eventually, like during the New York session, either open below the spike or lose the spike, retest it, boom, go lower. Yeah. So let me ask you this, traveling investor. Why do you want me to cover Tesla? Because this one will always confuse me. Not Tesla specifically, but just here. Let me show you really quick. Hopefully, you answer before I show this, and then maybe we'll be on the same page. I don't know. I don't have a problem with looking at Tesla, except for the fact that I already looked at Tesla, right? So, whenever I have time before I go live, I have a process I go through, which is every single stock on this list has an average true range of 2 or more, which basically means in any given day the market's open, it's going to move at least 2 points, if not more. Which just basically means, like, if for AMD on Monday doesn't move 2 points, it won't show up on this list. But then on Tuesday it moves 2 points, it'll show back up on this list. And so what I do is I'll click on, like, whatever, the first Apple. After I click on it, I look at this, the Elliott waves, and I go, oh, like, do we have a setup here? Did I somehow miss Apple? This could be a blessing in disguise. After I do that, then I go and I look at my clouds and I go, do the clouds tell the same story that the full send indicator is telling? Which is right now, we sold off, came down to the 4-hour bottom, bounced, retested. This was your entry right here for calls. And now we went all the way up to the 4-hour top. And this is where you would have closed right here. So you get in at 227.43-ish, 45, and you close at 233.57 right here. And right now, if we lose the bottom of the 4-hour cloud, which is at 233.57, then there's a good chance we're going to come to here first, which is going to be 230. We'll just say 230.10. And then from there, there's a chance we go to 227.50. Right? And so now we want to actually add this to what we're watching for tomorrow. I don't know how that slipped past me. So, based on what you just said, the traveling investor, when something runs 27 points or 26 points, the last thing I'm looking to do is get into calls. I don't buy the middle. I don't buy the top. I'm a reversal trader. And so right now, this is possibly the top on Apple. And I want to be in puts. And if it keeps going higher, then they can go without me. I buy down here. I don't buy up here. Just no thank you. So we want them to lose 33. I know I said like 33.50, but I want them to lose a little bit lower for me to be getting in. So this is a bull flag, right? Here, the 50%'s way down here. I'm not waiting till that. But I will be taking a trim before there. So what I would do on Apple is, gosh, do I need to consider this? Because I don't want to. Yeah. This is kind of, I'm actually not going to take this at all. I'll explain why. If you guys want to, you're welcome to. This wouldn't be a terrible spot to get in puts, right? The issue is they could bounce it right here, right? And then you definitely don't want to be getting in puts in the golden pocket here, right? And then we have another issue, like if we get in somewhere like this, then right below that we have the 50% fib here, where they could also bounce, right? And so then technically we need them to lose, like, actually let me use a little box. We need them to lose this here to be getting in. And at this point, like, we've already sold off, like 3 points. And again, I'm just not looking to get in on the middle of a range. And then even if we do get in here, then we have to be worried about a bounce right here, right? And it's like there's just so much support as we're going lower. Like here we have support, here we have support, here we have support, here. There's not enough meat for me to take a trade. If you like this, like, you could YOLO it. And that being said, like, them losing like this right here is probably good enough to get in, but I don't love it. Okay. And hopefully it makes sense to everybody why. But ultimately it looks like they're targeting, below this. So somewhere below 225.95 ish, is where they're targeting, somewhere down here. And it's probably something like this here that they're targeting, if I have to guess, or maybe right about here. Okay. But again, I just don't like all of the support below. Like I can't find a good place to get in. Okay. So with that said, I have this list. I literally look at every single day and I go through it. Like for instance, what are we looking at for tomorrow? I don't remember. Oh, Palantir. So if we go to PLTR, oh, it's not even on my list, but that's okay. I happen to have it up for, I guess, a different reason. Somebody probably asked me to look at it. And so the next time I opened my software, it automatically went to PLTR. And it just so happened that we have a really good setup for short, where we have a full send down here on the 1 hour time frame. full send down on 65 minute, full send down on 2 hour, and full send down on 4 hour. Generally, when I have like 30 minute, 1 hour, 65 minute, 2 hour, 4 hour, they don't miss very often. So with that said, like, this is the option setup that I shared for tomorrow because it meets all of my criteria, right? And right now, if we look at the clouds, what they've done is we've come down to the daily bottom, right? We bounce. Technically, it's a retest. So we hit the daily bottom here. It's just not drawing back that far. Bounce, came back, retested. This was your entry long or into calls. And from there, they broke above the 4 hour bottom. This was your retest to get in calls again. They actually retested it again and then went and came up, and you would have closed right here. Right now, we're in the weekly top. Yeah. So this like purple is the weekly top up here. And this is a good area, especially if they tap like the daily top here. A good place to look for a rejection back down to our 4 hour bottom and then possibly to the daily bottom. So everything's lining up, like saying this is a good area to look for a reversal on what I do. And if I go to Tesla, which I already, again, I looked at, there's nothing that's screaming get into a trade, right? I don't have full sends on anything at the top. I'm definitely not getting into calls after we've run, 30 odd points or whatever it is. There's just nothing saying, hey, like this is a spot to look for further higher, or this is a spot to look for a reversal. And so the point I'm getting at is if I took the time to say, hey, check out PLTR. This looks like a really great spot for a reversal. This is the trade you should be watching for on Monday. And then this is where I get confused. And again, I'm not trying to insult anybody. I understand people have like certain stocks that they really like to look at, or like maybe they think they see like a good setup or whatever. But if there was a good setup on Tesla, I promise you, I would already be sharing it with you before you ask, right? But it's not there. There's and then as far as going higher, I don't expect you guys to trust these clouds, but I do. And right now, we're literally at the, what's it called? The daily top, I think. Weekly top. That's going to be a huge resistance level, right? And if they are able to break through this and then retest the top of this, there's a chance that we go up to, I believe, the quarterly bottom here. Monthly, sorry. Monthly top at 421. But again, you wanted to get in here 47, not at almost 400, right? Which is also going to be a psychological resistance level, right? So anyway, yeah, it always kind of throws me off. Like, you guys see the list, right? So if you want, I can run through it really quick. Apple, ABBV, Airbnb, Affirm, AMAT, AMD, Amazon. I don't look at ARCs, but AVGO, BA, Baba, Baidu, Cat, Coin, CRM, Crowd, CVX, Dash, Dog, Disney, DLTR, DocuSign, Etsy, Xperia, FDX, FSLR, Google, Goldman Sachs, Home Depot, IWM, JPM, Lulu, MasterCard, MACD, McDonald's, whatever, Marvel, MS, Microsoft, MU, I don't really look at Netflix. I don't look at new. NVIDIA, Oracle, PanW, PDD, PG, QCOM, QQQ, Roblox, Roku, RTX, Shop, Snow, SPX, Spy, Target, TQQQ, Tesla, TSM, TTD, TTWO, TXN, UNH, UPST. If I'm sharing option setups with you guys, I already looked at all of those. And there's no reason to be like, hey, can you look at something that's basically already on this list? I already looked at it. There's not a setup there that I have any confidence in and that I would share on my YouTube channel, because I have a very, what's it called? I have very concise things that I look at when I'm looking for a setup. And if it doesn't meet my criteria, I'm not going to be sharing a setup because it's not there for me, right? And then, shit, I just spilled my coffee. If we quickly go here, the win rate speaks for itself, right? So if I share a setup on PLTR, that's what you should be looking at for tomorrow versus being like, hey, I really want to trade Tesla. I mean, if you want to, go do it. But I've already looked at it. There was nothing there that I like. Maybe there's something there that you like. But if there's nothing there that I like, then I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. You know, I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, definitely grab calls, like buy the top. No, not on my channel. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. That's me. For people that are trading options tomorrow, I would actually just avoid it altogether. It's probably going to be extremely choppy. But I'll go over the possibilities. I don't think they're great. I mean, great as far as like, it's not looking great as far as, what's it called? Moves tomorrow. 12:35 candle. Really? No, this day. I'm looking at the wrong day and I'm confused. Wow, that's a big candle. Somewhere here? Okay, so the body of the candle. Yeah. Can I copy this? Because that would be amazing. Oh, nice. I need to start doing this because there's no really clear way to see the coordinates. There we go. Sexiness. Unfortunately, it lines up with the previous day value area high. Let's do this. There we go. And then, why are they doing this to me? I demand they put some respect on my name. Ooh. Stop it. Pretty important they bounce here. I don't want to go into Monday with a loss. I don't really care. Okay. Obviously, we're watching for puts. I'm just going to grab this whole range. I should also add the traveling investor. If you think, I mean, even if it happens historically, like where Tesla runs and then it runs the next day, it's just not a good investment strategy. Yeah. So they bounced where we needed to bounce. So that's good. It is what it is. I mean, whatever. Basically, right now, I'm going to be annoying because, like, I'm sitting at my computer. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to go turn all this off. I'm going to go have dinner, hang out with my family, and I could really care what this does. Like, they're either going to hit my profit level or they're going to hit my stop loss. We'll talk about that more in a second because this is important stuff. So, we would take this scenario, right? We would take this scenario. We would take this scenario, right? Oh, I just remembered what my other train of thought was. It only took me like 25 minutes or 30 minutes. We're going to talk about it now so I don't forget. I mentioned to you guys last week about an idea I had of basically going through, where is it? No. So like this.
Hello? The next couple of videos.
I have the entire Trader Dale order flow video course, right? And so basically this is going to apply to people that are on the Dean's list, people in my mentorship group, and yeah. So basically it's going to be private, but it's not going to be private. If you're in my mentorship group or you're on the Dean's list in Keenan's, or if you're in Shorty's Discord, you'll have access to this. But basically, what I'm going to do is I thought it would be a really good dude, Big P just mentioned taxes and my butthole puckered and I lost my train of thought again. No, I'm joking. So, anyway, I have the whole video course from Trader Dale, and I was thinking about a good way to do this. And what I was thinking was, I know I talked about this last week, but I've decided 100% I'm doing this. I was thinking, most of these videos, they're pretty short, right? I would say on average about 10 to 15 minutes per video. And I don't really know exactly how many of them there are. There's probably about 20-ish videos, maybe 25. But I was thinking, basically kind of do like 45-minute to 1 hour, maybe hour and a half session where we watch a video, discuss it. Meaning that if people have questions or whatever, just want to discuss what was covered in the video, then we discuss it, basically doing like kind of a Q&A where you guys can ask me questions and I tell you how I interpret it or whatever, how I trade it, how I use it. And then we go into the next video when there's no more questions. Go through that video, do Q&A again, and just go through the whole series like that, right? From A to Z. I'll probably be starting that this week. So with that said, if you're interested in this and you're not either in like Keenan's Dean's List, Shorty's Discord, or in my mentorship group, then you need to join one of those if you want to be able to do this with us. And again, I never say this stuff like because I'm selling it or whatever, but that's just going to be the reality of it. These are going to be private videos where basically I would say the cheapest way to do it is if you want to be in this and you're not, would be to join my mentorship group. It's a one-time $100 fee. And I'll say this, like, I feel like I kind of dropped the ball on the mentorship group. And it's because of a few reasons. Like, for one, I was just struggling with finding time to do stuff, to cover stuff. And I kind of feel like I covered all of the topics that I want to cover. But I know a lot of people need repetition of going back over stuff. And I was thinking of a good way to get back in with everybody, and cover more content, give more value, whatever, to the people that did join that group. And I thought this was a great way to do it. The other thing is like, people that are in there will probably remember, at least most people will, the whole concept of that group was originally it was a Discord with just me and a few friends in it. And what it was, for my friends, like, you want to learn how to trade? Sure, I'll teach you. You show me that you're willing to like put in the time to read the books and do whatever you got to do. I don't mind teaching you. And so that was the original reason for that group. And then I decided like, hey, like this would be a good opportunity for people for a very inexpensive price, like $100 one-time fee, to join and actually be a part of like a mentorship group where they can watch me live mentor my friend, right? Or my friends. It was two friends. Both of them kind of just fell off. Like one, he didn't really go into details, but he said he had some stuff come up and, he was just busy with whatever. And, just didn't really have time, to keep going. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I was actually kind of shocked because he read the books really quickly. And when we were talking about stuff, he had a lot of the answers. And it was like obvious that, most people, when they read the books quickly, they're not absorbing very much. But it was obvious that he absorbed a lot because he was regurgitating what he had read. Right. And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to get this so quick and he's going to start killing it. But like I said, he just fell off, got busy with whatever he got busy with. Are they going to do us dirty? I mean, I'm fine with this bouncing off the spike base. Sure, do your thing. Do what you got to do. So, anyway, he fell off. I'm sure like one day eventually me and him will get back in and, like maybe when things calm down for him. And then the other person that's in there actually is the guy that I showed kind of at the beginning of the video, my son's head coach and like Tatiana's coach. And he's, I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Like, I don't know how to word this, but basically like is kind of doing his own thing, right? I'm teaching this, and this, and this, and like one trade a day, whatever, journal your trades. And he'll take like 6 trades. And, I don't think he's doing it like, you know, maliciously. I just think um, he remembers what he wants to remember and doesn't remember what he doesn't want to remember, if that makes sense. So like he conveniently forgot that he's supposed to be taking one trade a day or whatever it is, you know. Um, Traveling investor, you just DM me on Discord, and if you don't, I mean, I know you know how to DM me on Discord, but if anybody doesn't have Discord or doesn't have access or a way to DM me, if you're interested, you can just send me an email. And I just posted my email. For people that might be watching this video after the fact, the email is going to be my last name, which is Perks, just like the word. Actually, maybe I'll just pop it up on here. So it's this. Okay. So you can email me here. perksap@gmail.com. Anyway, if you are interested, that's where you can either reach out to me on Discord or shoot me an email. Anyway, my son's head coach gets really busy, like with like right now Tatiana has a fight, so like he'll be busy doing her training camp, he'll be busy on the weekends training with her, and then he's traveling to go wherever the fight is and blah 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 blah, and just kind of like both of us just got busy and kind of like fell apart basically. Again, I'm sure he'll get back into it, but the whole concept was for people to watch me teaching those two, and now those two are gone. So I was trying to figure out how to transition into like basically mentoring the whole group. And I think this is like the good next step, right? So we'll be getting into that soon. Again, probably sometime this week, we'll start cranking that out. Let's see. Obviously, if they give us this, we would be looking to be inputs. Or if they give us this, we would be looking to be inputs. Okay. All right. I think everybody sees like I don't really have very many bullish scenarios, just the one. Most of it is going to be bearish. I think we'll be selling off from where we are after they bounce it and hit my profit target first. Okay. Let me go ahead and post this in Keenan's. And if you guys have any question, now would be the time. Bro. Oh, I don't know if I said this, but I should be live trading tomorrow. Even though I think it's going to be choppy. I would recommend not trading it really, but we'll see what happens. All right. The traveling investor, I'm pretty sure you're already in the group. Yeah, you are. You're trading. Oh, you trade NQ futures? Yeah, of course you can apply everything. Um, I would look for the high volume nodes. I don't know what you trade with basically, but I would recommend. And thank you for re-asking your question also, because I'm never trying to ignore anybody, but the chat can be a little bit hard to keep up with sometimes, and sometimes I do overlook people by mistake. But basically, I'll kind of show you what I would recommend really watching for on NQ or ES for that matter. It's really like primarily what I trade off of, which is the high volume nodes. Here, so I'll just kind of do everything. NQ. Wait, we're looking for NQ U5, right? At least for another couple of days. Why? For whatever reason, I'm having like really bad latency. Am I clicking on the wrong thing? Just try this. I don't think that's right. No, it's not. Calendar spreads. Yes, it does. Am I losing my mind? Okay, bear with me. Let's just try Z contracts. All right. Whatever you want to do there, bro. So basically, if you're not using Quantower or something that has footprint charts, I would highly recommend getting something that does have footprint charts. What I do is I apply my template. I'm happy to share this with anybody that wants it. Okay, I don't want that. I'm good. So this here, what we're looking at is a 5-minute chart on NQ, and it shows us a few things. So like imbalances, which is like this big box here. It looks like they're coming down to an imbalance right now. The only thing I don't like about this is, I guess it's the beginning of a trend. This might not be terrible. This might not be a bad range to get in long on NQ. There's also an imbalance down here. Here, there's a lot. Right. So imbalances are good to look at. Imbalance up here at the top for short. But what I really like to look at is on the 1 hour time frame. So this is considered a footprint chart where you can actually see all of the orders that have been traded. Oh, and then this I changed to 20 so that I only see like large orders that come in, not every single order. But actually, like right now, let's just make this smaller so you can kind of see. Like you'll see like, bigger orders that are coming through as they happen. But so this here is considered like an imbalance or a cluster chart or a footprint chart, where on the left-hand side here we have the bid, and on the right-hand side here we have the ask, right? So these are all the orders that came in on the bid. These are all the orders that came in on the ask. What I really like to do is I switch this. When I'm trading, I watch both, but I watch imbalance. I look for imbalances, like where it's a good place to buy or a good place to sell. But I really like to look at the single where all of the orders are together, and then I look at all volume. And when I do this, I look for areas where like the largest amount of orders are coming in. I don't trade NQ, so I don't really know what's considered large as far as orders. Here's some pretty big orders coming in. I mean, I know like 20, or even 40 contracts is big, 43 here. But what I do basically is, I want to be able to look at this like more compressed. I got to kind of see like, it's so small compared to ES. So it looks like on NQ, like anything over 100 is pretty big. Whereas on ES, I'm looking at thousands. So here we have like 300. Basically, what I would be doing is this whole range here, I'd be drawing a box around. And basically, like, when these large orders come in, at the time we don't know if it's buyers or sellers. What we're looking for is like a full 30-minute candle or even an hour candle where the wicks, everything open and close above this level or below this level. If they open and close above, that means that this would be a buy side high volume node. If it's below, then it would be a sell side high volume node. And then what we're looking for is the next time they come down and retest this area, we want to be buyers with them, right? Even here we have like a large buy side here. And you can see this already worked, right? So buyers were here. We had the full body candle here. The next time we came back to this, they bounced and you could have took it up, right? And just for context, this is, if you got in at the top of this box, 24, well, just say 325. And obviously, like, we're not going to sell it exactly the top, but you should have been buying at the top of the box, so at 325. And it looks like you could have got like roughly 40 points. I mean, me personally, I would probably be like, oh, we've got like potentially sellers right here. And this is just off of cluster charts, so I would happily take it from there to there. So what is it, like 25 up to 55? Yeah, I would, I'll take 30 points on NQ any day, right? So that's what I do. And unfortunately, like, I don't have a ton of time to talk about this, but this stuff is all covered like in my mentorship group, if you're interested. A lot of it is also just covered on my YouTube in general. Or I shouldn't say in general. It's covered on my YouTube. Just on my mentorship group, it's going to be like in a concise order, where you can watch video. On the YouTube, it might be a little bit more scattered, basically. So hopefully that helps you out. All right, Davis, have a good one. Hey, what's up, Nora? Yes, Sal, we're going to start doing the Trader Dale videos. It's going to be for people that are in like Shorty's Discord, in Keenan's, that are in the Dean's List part of Keenan's Discord, and for people that are in my mentorship group. Okay, they're going to be private videos. Hey, what's up, Peace River Ghost? How you doing? Yeah. Let me just kind of go through the chat really quick. Just make sure that I didn't miss any other questions. Oh, what Big P said is very important. If you don't understand wash sales, you better Google it and figure it out. If you're trading option contracts, basically what it is let's just say I got in puts, right? And price ends up going higher and goes against me, right? And then I close my trade here at a loss. But then shortly after I get back into puts, what they're going to say is that I can't write this loss off in my taxes because it looks like I was expecting a move down. It went against me. I closed it so that I could say, hey, I took a loss. And then I immediately hop back into the same trade. And then if I, especially if I get a win, it just looks like I specifically closed that trade to take a loss so I could write it off on my taxes. And what a wash sale is they say, no, you can't write this off. You can't write off this loss. And those build up. And there's been people that have had like massive tax bills because of wash sales, which is one more reason that trading futures is better. There's no wash sales on futures. But I'll just say this. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an accountant. And so I don't like to talk about taxes and stuff like that, but you should hit up Google, figure out how wash sales work, and make sure that you're not going to get your cheeks clapped by these guys. Okay? Again, one more reason to trade futures: there are no wash sales. Let me keep going through this. Big P saying he thinks the market's already priced in a rate cut. Yeah. And I think we'll get one. If we don't, oh God, it's going to be ugly. Really ugly. Traveling investor, I miss what you said when you said thanks, Rocket. I totally understand, and I guess my mentality of FOMO is messing with me. You the goat. Actually, really quick, Nora, if you're still here, I need to figure out how to be able to put people's comments up on the screen. I know you know how to do it. If you could share that with me, I would really appreciate it. It would make it a lot easier for people to know what I'm looking at when I'm reading through chat. That is absolutely FOMO. When a stock's run 30 points, you don't consider jumping in the same direction that it's already run 30 points. Okay? All right, it looks like I've covered everything. No, that's not how that works, Eris. That's not wash sales. You can only write off so much on your taxes in losses. So, yeah. Sal, I don't. How do I check what Discords you're in? It's the learning group. Mohammed, I can't tell you pricing per se. I mean, I guess I could, but there's a couple of ways to get it, or I know one way to get it for free. If you're using your own money, AMP Futures Free Quantower, it's very important that you use this link. If you just go to AMP's website and sign up there, you won't get free Quantower. You have to actually use this link that says you would get free Quantower here. This is if you're trading with your own money. If you're using a what's it called? If you're using a prop firm, then you just have to figure out which ones offer Quantower. I know Apex does. I know Blue Sky does. I'm not sure who else. But both of them do. And then if you go to Quantower, basically all you need, this would be like their monthly fee for all of their indicators. I really only use the volume analysis, so it's like $35 a month. You can also buy lifetime for $720, or by year, whatever. But so that's the price. But again, if you're using your own money, you can go to you can go through AMP and get access to all of their indicators for free. Okay. Why are they going the wrong way? Anyway, I want to stop watching that. I want to go have dinner, hang out with my family. It doesn't look like we have any other questions. I feel like Nora always just pops in and says hi and then dips. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Because every time, this is the second time I've asked her for help on popping the text up on screen, and every time she's never replied to me. So she just wants me to think she's here and says hi and then runs. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Oh, it looks like she's still here. Alrighty, I should be live tomorrow. Oh, the show went good. I think the only issue is like I don't have the best videos. And then even if I did have good videos, I don't know the best way to word this. So basically, like, my son, he's a part of a music school that puts the kids into bands, right? And the music school has their own equipment, and it's good quality equipment, right? Like, they have good microphones, they're wireless microphones. They they sound good, whatever, the quality's good. I wasn't at the show on Saturday, but the feedback on Instagram, like, a bunch of new people started following their band, and people were sending DMs like, wow, they were amazing, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Mohammed, I'll be live like 20 minutes before New York Stock Exchange opens. Anyway, the videos that I heard, the microphones sound like crap. And I think what it was is this wasn't done through the music school. It was done by the parents of the kids in the band. And so we were using like all of our own equipment. And one of the parents brought like the soundboard, the microphones, speakers, all of that stuff. And I don't know anything about the quality of their stuff. But it sounds like at least the microphones, I mean, their soundboard looked really nice. I saw it like briefly in a video. I think it's nicer than the one that I have. But I could be wrong on that. But I think the quality of the microphones wasn't the best. It's either that or it's the speakers. I don't know which one. But so, Traveling Investor, it's not, the size of the account doesn't matter. It's a percentage. You should be trading between 1% to 3% maximum per trade, risking 1% to 3% of your account. But so anyway, let me go there. Unfortunately, they just don't like sound great, at least in my opinion. But it's like you can hear the audio where, oh, it's gone. Actually, here, I have it here somewhere. Sorry. So this is them. It's gonna be. They're telling the audience to be louder. I don't know if. Hopefully, you guys can hear this.
There it is. All right, you ready to hear some songs? All right, this one's for all the emos out there.
So like my son sounds crazy. I don't know how else to say it, but like it doesn't sound like he normally does.
Streets oranges red. The sun suffocates me. I'm talking down.
So, anyway, like it went well, but I think the audio could have been better, is the only thing. And it's kind of a bummer because, like, I have, what is it? Like, I have a microphone problem. Like if we look at my, I'm I don't want to make sure I'm not sharing a bunch of personal information. If we look at my Amazon account, I have a microphone problem where I buy too many microphones. But anyway, where is it? Here maybe? Oh, so we have this, which it probably doesn't sound like much, or it doesn't look like much based on the price, but this is a really, like, basically any musician could tell you, like, this is, it's not like top of the line or anything, but this is like a really good, like, workhorse professional level, microphone for concerts or whatever. And so, like, we could have easily just brought this, but I didn't realize that we needed to. But I was telling my wife, so I really like Shure mics. They're really good quality. But then, like, I think for a musician, probably, especially if you're just a singer, one of the most frustrating things would be, like, being tied to a wire, right? So, like, that's just one that I use in the house, like for him to practice or whatever, or for us to do karaoke, things like that. But for, for like actually doing shows, you want like a wireless mic system or whatever. I need to look into, basically like what to get. I don't know. If anybody has any suggestions, I'm all ears. But I know for sure, like, I want a Shure mic that's wireless that has rechargeable batteries. And, like, initially just looking, like, I have to do research because I really don't know. But the range is crazy, like, $329 up to like 16 something. But I was telling my wife, I'm looking and I'm like, oh, like, I'm probably going to end up buying something like this where I know definitely not specifically this one because it doesn't have the rechargeable batteries. It uses double A's. I mean, I know I could buy like rechargeable double A's, but there's like the Shure mics. I think this is it here. I forget the type of battery it uses, but they're the little like stubby round ones. No, so that uses the double A's. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, so the Shure proprietary lithium-ion rechargeable batteries, up to 12 hours of use. And then they're like, they can charge, I think, on this receiver. Yeah, right there. So, I'm probably looking at something similar to this, but again, I have no idea. I need to research. I guess this is the SM58, which is the same one that I have, except this is the wireless version of it. So that's probably a good one to go with. Anyway, I basically told my wife this morning, like, after she told me, like, oh, the audio wasn't good, whatever, the mics weren't good. I was like, shit, we need to buy wireless mics. And she's like, babe, like, there's no hurry. You can wait. And I'm like, no, I can't. Yeah, I don't know. I have a problem probably where, I can't half-ass stuff. Like, I just can't. So if my son's going to go and do shows, he's not going to use a half-ass mic. Like, he can use the, I mean, at least now, as a minimum, 100%, he'll be taking, his Shure mic, that we already own. Excuse me. Yeah, the SM58. So if anybody's smarter than me and knows stuff about microphones, the wireless microphones, I know for sure that I want, you know, the rechargeable, not the AA's. So the one that I probably just showed you guys is probably perfect for what I'm looking for. But if anybody has any input, please hit me up. I would love to hear your advice. But yeah, I guess as a minimum right now, we know in the future we need to bring his mic that we have. And I'm pretty sure very shortly here I'm going to be buying some wireless Shure mics. So, yep. I want to offer something up really quickly. And this is, I mean, it goes out to everybody, but this is basically coming out because of something the traveling investor just said. Let's start here. So, like, this is a good place to start. Trading is way more mental than anything. I take a trade, I could give two shits on the outcome. Obviously, a win is better, but I really don't care about the outcome. Because I will take losses, it's inevitable. If I keep taking trades with an edge, with math on my side, I will always come out on top. Until you embrace losing and knowing it's inevitable, you will not succeed in this game. Now, that doesn't really apply to what the traveling investor had just said. But what does apply is you have to remember this is a business, right? Obviously, we can be excited about being successful in business. Obviously, we can be excited about business doing well. But if you're like sitting on the edge of your seat and you're like, I can't wait until the market opens Monday morning, like, you've got to learn how to dial it back. You should be approaching trading as a business, as a businessman, as a businesswoman, where you know, it's another day in the office, right? Like, I understand when you're starting, there's enthusiasm, there's excitement, and I get it, but you want to try to remind yourself when you're feeling that excitement and that enthusiasm that this is a business. You're clocking in the morning. You're going to do your work. Some days are going to be great. Some days are going to be hard. And you just have to keep grinding with math on your side. and waiting for good setups, whatever else, being patient. You shouldn't feel this like immense like excitement to trade, right? For me, you'll never really hear me say like, oh, I can't wait for the market to open. Like, it's just another day at work, right? And when I say all that, like, I don't want anybody to feel like, like, oh, like I shouldn't be, excited or whatever. Again, be excited about being successful in business. But like, how many people do you say like, oh, I can't wait to clock into work tomorrow on Monday morning? They don't say it, right? Because that's just not a thing. Right? So you've got to kind of learn how to curb that enthusiasm. Be excited about studying, be excited about growing, be excited about getting better. But clocking into work, you're just putting in the hours, you're putting in the time, you're staying on business, you're doing your business, trying to make that money, right? It should just be another day in the office every time. Okay? With all that said, my food is probably very cold at this point. So fuck you guys. I love you. With that said, as always, much love, much respect, everybody. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you live, hot, and in person. I'll be posting Zoom links in all of the appropriate places shortly here. And we'll see you about 20 minutes before the market opens tomorrow. And as always, much love, much respect, everybody. And you guys, I'm sure you all know I'm sincere when I say that. I'm still really bothered. Again, I don't care where you stand politically. I don't care where you stand on your opinions. I really don't care about any of that. But there's no reason for us to be killing each other, right? And so I'm probably pretty sure the point that I'm making is probably pretty clear to everybody. Charlie Kirk's life, or death, I should say, is absolutely disgusting. That shouldn't have happened. It's still bothering me to this day. And again, I don't care what your political views are or your opinions or whatever. We all have opinions, and they're never going to be the same. And that's fine, right? It's not a reason to go out and do harm to people. Anyway, that stuff is still bothering me. I'm sure it'll bother me for a while. That's just not what life is about, right? I don't know. Like, it just really makes me sad. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Just like there's no win-win. Like Aries is saying, they sentenced the guy that killed the girl to life. Cool. I'm assuming you're talking about the girl on the subway, the Ukrainian model or whatever it is. That's not a win-win. Like, she shouldn't have lost his life. And now it seemed like that guy's struggling with like major mental health issues where he's known to have like, I think like schizophrenia or something like that. Like, and now he's losing his life as a result. Right. I don't know. It's just tragic. Like, we need better, mental health services. We need 2 parents in the home. That's a huge one. I think the biggest issue that we see, in America today, most of them stem from not having 2 parents in the home. A lot of them stem from not having fathers in the home. And so I would just offer up as a man, like, as men, we need to do better, right? We need to be there for our kids. We need to be there to guide them, to nourish them, to encourage them to be better, to be good people. The people, like, I don't want to make this racial, so I'm not going to. You guys can deduce from what I'm about to say whatever you want to deduce, but one of our big problems in the country right now is there's a lot of, especially like lower class, where you grow up with just a mom, and those kids tend to turn to like gang life because they have like a father figure or a family in that gang, which just leads to more death and more violence. And it's all unnecessary. Like if we were just there for our kids, obviously like some people are going to choose that path anyway with both parents in the home, but I think it would be a lot less. And anyway, just my point, I don't want to say specifically men because it applies to everybody. A lot of people might not know this. Like in my house, my older children grew up without a mom, right? I fought for sole legal custody of my kids because like 4 years into my marriage, my older son's mom got into drugs and alcohol, and that was more important to her than her family. And so I left her and I fought for full custody, and I got full custody, and I did the best that I could as a man raising them by myself. She would always say she would come and visit them, and she rarely did. They would go years without seeing their mom. And so again, I'm not just making it about men, it's both, right? But all of us need to do better as people. If you choose to have children, you should also choose to be in their life. And if you can't make that commitment, then don't have kids. I was going to say something funny, but I'm not going to, about using different holes. But I guess I kind of did. But yeah, just really like we need to do better as parents, as a society. And one of the big things as well is like we need to get better about mental health, treating people with mental illness, things like that. Way too much for me to talk about here, but anyway, just all of this is just really like hurting my heart. It's bothering me. And I really hate to see it. And again, it doesn't matter who you agree with or disagree with or where you're at politically or whatever, blah, 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 blah. If you don't agree with anything I'm saying right now, then this is just not the YouTube channel for you. Because here I care about life. I care about treating people with kindness and respect. And there's no reason for us to be killing people. Other than like if they break in your house, then defend yourself, But unless you're put into a situation where you need to defend yourself, you should not be the one initiating violence, if that makes sense. Anyway, with all of that said, and with like still a heavy heart with what happened, much love, much respect to everybody. Kind of like I talk about every once in a while, go and hug your loved ones. Make sure they know that they're loved. Make sure they know they're appreciated. Especially when you're married, right? Make sure you keep dating your wife. Make sure you keep dating your husband. Don't wait for special occasions to bring your wife flowers. Even if it's something insignificant, go outside and cut some flowers for her yourself and put them in a vase. She'll appreciate it. I guarantee it. But also, women, you need to make sure that your husbands feel loved and supported. A lot of us carry a lot of stress and we don't talk about it, and the only like safe haven we have is our home. And there, like we should feel like we're being supported and loved and encouraged to keep going and keep pushing, to keep being better, to provide better for our families. Anyway, as always, everybody, much love, much respect. I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. We will see you Monday morning. Hopefully we can find some nice setups. Hopefully this mofo keeps going in the right direction for us. And as always, much love, much respect. Peace out, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, to what Eras just said before I say goodbye. Yeah, a lot of people don't care about a man's struggle. And that's why I said that. Like, really, as a woman, I mean, I don't want to tell people how to act or whatever, but your boyfriend, husband, whatever, like, he's not going to show you that he's stressed out. He's not going to show you that he's struggling. You got to go up and be like, hey, I appreciate all the hard work you put in. I appreciate how hard you work for our family. You're the best. You're the man, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Lift that guy up. Because if he's there, if he's being a good dad, if he's being a good husband, if he's being a good boyfriend, lift him up. Make him feel appreciated. But also, men, you've got to do the same, right? Because after we start, like after we get married, I've said this a few times, but like once you get married, you're not like, hey, let's go out on a date, right? You just tell your wife, hey, let's go to dinner. And there's a huge distinction. You're doing the same thing. You're eating food or whatever it is. But if you tell your wife like, hey, why don't you put on something nice? Let's both get dressed up. Let's go out and have a nice dinner together. Go out on a little date, is very different than, hey, babe, where do you want to eat tonight? Right? One leaves her feeling loved and appreciated, and one leaves her feeling like whatever. Our words are important, right? So make sure you keep dating your wife. Make sure you keep dating your girlfriend. Make sure she knows she's loved and appreciated. But also the same goes for you women. Make sure that man that's working hard, that doesn't share his struggles, knows that he's loved and appreciated as well. Okay? Let's just do better overall. If people just take that tiny little tip in their relationship, you'll have way more successful outcomes and lower divorce rate, lower separation rate, whatever it is. Anyway, as always, much love, much respect, everybody. Peace out. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you.